packed with anticipation for your chance to win a trip to next week's grand final. Well, after 4 fine days and plenty of mopping up, VFL Park was in its best condition for weeks for its big day of the year. There had been plenty of conjecture that the ground surface, which had helped to reduce North to a team of plodders last week, may have had an influence on the game. Well, it wasn't to be. North Melbourne, who had finished on top of the ladder, were facing elimination unless they could regain their form. Essendon have never been so buoyed up with confidence after winning their last 6 games in a row to fight their way from the elimination final up to the second last hurdle. The Bombers have done it with large helpings of muscle and not inconsiderable skill. Well, the opening was certain to be tough and spectacular, and so it was, right from the word go. A crowd of 64,000 was there to see who could ride it out and qualify to meet Hawthorn next week. We join at the opening bounce, and with me are Tim Lane and Peter Booth.
North Melbourne versus Essendon for the right to play Hawthorn for the 1983 VFL Grand Final. The preliminary final is underway. Dempsey beats Madden at the first bounce, but it's tight in there. And umpire Nash plucks out the almost mandatory free kick at the start of a final. Watson to Bahaja and the Bombers are away. Long, good direct play. Danaher at full forward and Dench. Dench gets the spoil. Danaher onto the ball, met by Lord, and breaks away and fires and puts it through. Brilliant play, Terry Danaher.
The first direct hit to the Bombers. A minute gone, they're 1 goal, North Melbourne yet to score. Madden high. Glendenning. Glendenning still. Schimmelbusch off the pack. Grabbed by Hurd. And the free kick going Duckworth's way, just attacking side of the centre circle. Up to Danaher again. There'll be 15 metres as the ball has got to come back. Essendon player over the mark in Duckworth. Just inside the centre square. Duckworth. Now Merritt leads. He's going, oh, it's a huge kick. Merritt is down there, might even beat the pack. Well, it has!
And what a pathetic effort by Dempsey in the goal square. Essendon 2 straight goals. We've played only 2.5 minutes. Another stack up in the centre. And another ball. By Ian Robinson here today with Neville Nash. Knocked one by Madden. Goes Essendon's way. Bahaja bounces off his teammate Van der Haar. High kick towards centre half forward. Streaming down the ground is Danaher. The Essendon skipper kicked the first goal of the match. Has a chance to make it his second and Essendon's third. It's a mighty kick. It's home. No, just offline. 2 goals won Essendon in the first 3 minutes.
Blistering start, and North must feel slightly demoralised as Ramsey looks for Dempsey. Madden wearing him. Might be a free kick to Dempsey. Play goes on. Dempsey kicks cleverly with the left boot and finds Smith up on the wing. That was well done by the big fellow Dempsey. Smith inboard, not very effectively though. Hurd, Schimmelbusch the tackle. That was just about a throw. Not called though. Duckworth to full forward. Dench and Danaher. Throw in Essendon. Really bombarding at the moment, and North in early trouble.
The Bombers leading by 13 points to 0, almost 4 minutes in the first term. Right forward pocket, underneath the Giants scoreboard, Merritt and Dempsey. Dempsey the thump towards Schimmelbusch. Bahaja there, the 2 number 20s. Ezard gets a nice hip and shoulder from Cowton. Intercepted by Hurd. Back into play it goes. A chance for Law and a good defensive mark in the far side pocket.
North under heaps of pressure early. Short pass. Could be dangerous, but Hodgman takes the mark and is punched to the ground by Van der Haar. Pick on someone your own size. No 15-metre penalty for it either. Hodgman short pass to half-back flank. Too long for Law. Bit of trouble, but he recovers well. Good smother by Hawken. Just inside the boundary line. Bombers red hot. Great pass to Bahaja. Outside of centre half forward. Tries to get around. High hand pass. Danger for Van der Haar. Glendenning crashes through. Cowton gets it back to Glendenning and he clears from half-back flank.
Great play by the champion half-back. McCann up with the knock-on was good play because the Essendon big men were in prime position. and McCann forces a throw in. But North just caught slightly underprepared. I think the Bombers have gone out playing finals football, and North not quite ready for them.
Centre wing, Madden behind, tap down, taken by Demetrio. Up towards Schimmelbusch. Oh, good tackle by Carey. Schimmelbusch still playing the ball. Gets away from Bradbury with the hand pass. Up towards Atkins. Boundary line too close as Duckworth came in late. The throw in, half-forward flank, North Melbourne into attack. First term, 5 minutes played. 2-1, that's Essendon. North yet to score.
Atkins had plenty to say about Duckworth's challenge over the boundary line. Madden wins the tackle. Down to Hurd, who breaks from half-back flank. Good kick up towards the centre. Glendinning there with Madden, and at the back, the mark taken by Carlton. 15-metre penalty with the Essendon players over the mark. Roger Merritt. Carlton's pass wide out to half-forward. Good lead by Hodgman, and he marks in front of Bradbury.
Little call inside, short one, well delivered. Paid. Atkins it is, between half-forward flank and forward pocket. Heard the late charge to try and make the spoil. Half a lead from Fairley. Back in the square, McDonald. McCann's there too. He sets himself in the middle of plenty. Dempsey, no mark. Demetrio, heaps of pressure. Ball up, close to North Melbourne's goal. Only 15 metres out.
North into attack. The Bombers lead by 13 points to 0. Over the top. Jimmy Cracker, Schimmelbusch being held, nearly a free kick. Can't break away. Temper's just flaring a little.
I'll tell you what, Duckworth's in the centre of everything.
At 15 metres away from North Melbourne's goal. Once again, Jimmy Cracker goes up, gets it nicely, breaks clear, and now he's caught with the ball. And the free kick going to Folds or Bahaja. Should be Folds in the back pocket.
Made all the play, Jim Cracker, and was penalised. Folds short of centre wing. Kink from the back. Watson. Tackle, loses it. Wild hand pass up the ground. Free kick Bombers' way to Rene Kink, who was running down the ground to mark up, and there's a fight on behind play in the opening 7 minutes of the preliminary final. North Melbourne not shirking the issue.
Not a kind word can be heard.
Ian Morganson had his notebook out. There may be a report out of this, whether he was just warning players with the threat or not. I think he may have been. Free kick to Kink at half-back.
The one man standing off from the fisticuffs. Kicks to half-forward. Well, Williams up, couple to beat. Greg in good position. Throw in, half-forward flank for Essendon, leading by 13 points after 8 minutes in the preliminary final.
Dempsey. Merritt puts his body in front nicely. Carlton from the back. Out to Hawker. Threats it out to Ezar. Didn't want it. Bradbury. In towards half-forward. Oh, he's put down. There's going to be the advantage. Free kick played to Kick. And it's on again. Oh, Van der Haar's going in hard. Umpire Nash there. And they're really shaping up.
Well, there's Mark Dawson in there. He was flattened down at Geelong earlier in the season, and would have thought he might have learned his lesson. I don't know what runners and trainers are doing in among all that.
I don't think there was anything in that until Merv Nagel came in and made something out of nothing.
Well, the kick down the field to Rene Kink. He's about 50 metres out from goal. In fact, he's gone right back down towards centre half.
Demetrio's been reported, and I really can't see it.
Maybe somebody else.
Yeah,
Bradbury, the boy from Port Melbourne.
Well, who was the hittee and who was the hitter?
I don't think Bradbury's been reported.
Nagel's gone, for sure. For sure.
Almost 10 minutes of play in the first term, and possibly only about 6 minutes of actual play. All the rest has been rough stuff by members of both teams. Now Rene King has got the ball at centre half forward. Essendon 2-1-13, North Melbourne yet to score. Dead in front at centre half forward kick, and it's through. The Bombers' third goal.
Izzard from centre half back, crashed to the ground by Jim Cracker. We'll watch for the relay free.
No.
Phil Cracker's taken the mark on the wing and is allowed to play on with it to Abernathy. Essendon 3-1, North Melbourne 1 goal, 19 minutes gone. Great kick by Abernathy. McCann is there, fairly in front. Spills out North way. McDonald gets the hand pass to Atkins. Snap for goal, great kick. North's second goal.
So North bouncing back after looking to be in awful trouble early. They've hit back solidly. Madden has his knock sharked by Schimmelbusch, who gets it to Hodgman, but the tough Duckworth is in the way between half-back and centre of the ground. He goes out wide and effectively to Madden, who's on the centre line. Centres the ball nicely. Glendinning, yes, he's looking good. It's been suggested that perhaps the pressure can get to the champion North half-back, but he's shown no indication of that so far. He's been the rock as North look like they might be weathering the storm, and now he finds McCann.
McCann plays on quickly. Hurriedly up towards half-forward. McDonald, his target. Duckworth. Oh, great mark, McDonald. About 50 metres out from goal. The lead from Fairley ignored. There's no one back in the goal area, so he's going deep. It won't make it. Atkins down there along with Cracker. Carey barges his way through. Phil Cracker goes in. Bahaja threads the handball quickly. Atkins, step shot, going towards the pocket. Bradbury tries to control the ball on his fingertips, and it's gone through from behind.
A goal the difference now after Essendon had scored the first 19 points of the match. McDonald had the chance to take the big mark. At the back, Madden, hand pass anywhere. Walker, Dempsey into his back. The free's paid actually for the high tackle rather than in the back. Vanderhaar comes in and wants to remonstrate with Dempsey. The free's still going Essendon's way. On his own is Watson, just over the wing. Oh, it's Weston. And he centres towards centre half forward. Free kick to Abernathy. No whistle. Merritt the hand pass backwards. Tim Watson breaks clear, finds a man on his own, Bahagia, and he marks within kicking distance. And a front-on crash by Hodgman. Umpire drags him back 15 metres, which puts Tony Bahagia well within kicking distance if he wasn't already. The vigour being badly applied there by North. Most of the vigour so far has come from Essendon. Bahagia to put the Bombers 2 goals up, and he's done it. 22 and a half minutes into the first quarter, they lead 25-13.
23 minutes gone. There's a centre square infringement. Free kick to Essendon again against Glendinning, apparently cribbing up from half-back. Madden kicks towards his skipper, Danaher. Dench roves, well smothered by Madden. Paddle from Izzard was nice to Danaher. Long leg foot snap. Law, good mark. Under pressure.
Clock showing 23 minutes played. Will be a long quarter. Essendon 4-1, North Melbourne 2-1. Odd Dempsey over the back of Bradbury, threads it out nicely to Atkins. Madden chasing, but he backs his pace. Scrubby old kick, finds Watson of all people out there on the wing. Watson, sure kick back to Bradbury. Bradbury the hand pass. Under Nagel, up towards centre half forward. Williams, through the pack he goes. Fires in towards the pocket. Ramsey. Izzard got over his shoulder. There's no free kick, and it's trickled through from behind.
Essendon double North score at the 24-minute mark. Dench finds Jim Cracker. 15 metres against Terry Danaher. He won't get back to 15. Cracker finds Law, who's beating Van der Haar, up towards centre wing. In front, Hawker. Oh, hand pass is not good, but another Essendon free kick. Duckworth was held by McDonald, and Duckworth a 15-metre penalty to go with it.
Brings him beyond the centre line. He kicks long, as he did when he kicked Essendon's second goal, towards Merritt. Williams, Greg, the late lunge was a great effort to prevent a certain goal. Now Izzard, what's he done? Essendon's fifth. Great goal by Izzard.
First term, 25 minutes played. Essendon 32, North Melbourne 13. Oh, no one got that there. Up too early, the ruckman. Umpire Nash. Umpire Nash and Robinson with plenty of work to do so far, with a couple of reports. Players getting down to the business of playing football now. Goes to kick. There's going to be a free kick. North Melbourne's way. To be taken by Ross Glendinning. Defensive side of the circle. Up towards McDonald this time. McCann's about third in line and gets it. It's his third mark. Now Fairley dropping back with Phil Cracker. Dropping short though. And all the North Melbourne forwards with their eyes off the ball. And Gary Folds taking an easy saving mark.
Folds up short of the wing. Great battle this, Demetrio and Hawker. Demetrio spoils this time. Abernethy up towards the forward pocket. All Essendon again. Folds once more. There's nothing in that. The crowd thought there was more. 7 kicks to Gary Folds. Out of the back pocket, short of the wing again. Van der Haar pushed out by Glendinning. No whistle. Paddled up the ground well by Merritt. Law has been a good player. Good smother that time by Watson. And the ball's gone out on the full. It's an Essendon free kick. 13 frees to 4, Essendon's way.
Long beats the pack. Madden gives chase. So does King. Cowton and Phil Cracker into contest. Well played, Phil Cracker. Got kicked by the arm, forced the throw. And it's a free kick to North Melbourne, backward at the centre line. And he did well, considering the physical odds that he faced. He kicks towards McDonald, who beats Duckworth brilliantly, but then foolishly plays on. Gets a free, no, the free kick rightly goes Duckworth's way for holding the ball. The umpire initially indicated the incorrect direction. Duckworth's free at half-back.
Up towards Madden in the centre, with Watson doing some shepherding on Demetrio to allow Madden to take that mark. Madden now has a long, hard look. Cowton coming in, over the top. Weston, a long kick by Weston. Dench is doubling back, Danaher there. The ball's got carry. It's offline and out of bounds. Left forward pocket. Into time on in the first quarter by 2.5 minutes. The Bombers leading by 32 points to 13.
Merritt with Glendinning. Greg at the back. Glendinning's the hand pass up to half-back. Jim Cracker ran into a brick wall with Cowton. Schimmelbusch bouncing on the wing. McCann's been good at centre-half forward. Oh, great smother by Weston. Van der Haar met by Law. No whistle. Law again, loses it. Weston, inboard to Izzard. Great football, Essendon here, on to Tim Watson. He's got a paddock. You can bounce the ball at VFL Park today. Great pass. Merritt at centre-half forward. Roger Merritt well within kicking distance. Glendinning on the mark about 40 metres from goal. Essendon 5-2, North Melbourne 2-1. 3.5 minutes into time on first quarter. Good kick by Roger Merritt, who's really become a vital cog in this Essendon team in their run of 6 straight victories leading up to this game today.
So the Dons have opened the biggest lead in the game so far late in the first term. 25 points to the good as Abernethy gets the knock. Watson diving on it. And now another ball up. Torrid first quarter, and Essendon certainly dictating the terms, save a period of 7 or 8 minutes in the middle stages. Duckworth to half forward. Oh, Van der Haar went hard at Glendinning. Demetrio with about 3 to beat. The odds overwhelming, but fortunately they topped the push in the back, which was bad play by the Dons considering the numbers they had in their favour. And Demetrio takes the free just backward at the centre line.
Up towards McDonald. Duckworth gives him a bit of a push in the back, but punches the ball away. It goes to their second string up there in McCann. Down towards Jimmy Cracker. Izzard there, desperate for the ball. Retain possession. North Melbourne half-forward line's been told to move, but they're moving so much that McCann and McDonald seem to be crowding one another. Dempsey, but straight to Hurd. Half-back. Van der Haar. Good mark, Van der Haar over Law. Off and running. Danaher leads now towards centre half-forward. He's got the front posse out of the bench. Back to it. Not quite. Dench. Williams. Izzard in towards half-forward. Abernathy can't get him. Izzard fires and kicks it. Second goal.
North receiving a caning in the first quarter. Down by 5 goals. Atkins out of the middle, but not very far. More height than distance. Knocked on there by Smith. Already to centre half forward. Carey beats Hodgman. Is flattened by McDonald. Umpire comes in to speak to McDonald, and the free kick goes to Carey. The free's really going Essendon's way. Out to the outer wing. Madden is there with Dempsey. Dempsey knocks to the front. Williams taken out by Ramsey. Free kick to Williams for the high tackle.
Again, the free kick was there. North supporters not too happy about a few of them, but I wouldn't argue on too many. Williams kicks to half forward. Danaher up. Merritt! As mentioned earlier, he really has become a vital cog in this Essendon lineup. 50 metres out, directly in front. He's kicked 1 goal. 32.5-minute mark of the first quarter, so the siren cannot be far away, and a goal here would be great for the Dons. He's done it. They can do no wrong. Essendon 8-2-50, North 2-1-13, and could the preliminary final be over this early?
North with a useful breeze in the second quarter. So with it perhaps not right out of it. Light rain falling though, which won't help. Phil Cracker in front. Knocked away by McDonald, taking it towards the boundary line. Back to Atkins, too far out to score. Skirts a tackle, improves his direction now. Goes for goal. Right on the line, the mark to Smith.
Oh, look at Walsh. Where he wants to set up on the mark between the wrong posts.
He kicks backwards. Unbelievable. Right on the edge of the goal square is Fairley. Now, how the Essendon defenders didn't pick him up. And Fairley having his first kick at the 4-minute mark, second quarter. He replaced Bridus in the selected side. Kicks truly, and North have scored the only 2 goals of the second quarter so far.
Dempsey concentrating fiercely. 4.5 minutes down. North back to within 25 points, and Hodgman boots them forward. Bad bounce for Jim Cracker. Good tackle by his brother on Carey. Well played, Phil Cracker. Unlucky not to get a free. Nagel ran into McDonald. Duckworth dives on it. Oh, and gets a free kick for what? Well, it was for a push in the back, but I must say I didn't spot it. Goes out to Nagel.
Nagel with the Bombers double North score 50-25. Up towards Danaher and Van der Haar from the side. Danaher juggling, trying to get the ball to a player. Counting on all fours. Greg out wide. McCann and Jimmy Cracker. Now Western number 28. McCann will get there first. No, he leaves it for Carey. And he dwelt on Carey and got the free kick. McCann in towards Demetrio. Madden late on the scene. Gently does it. No penalty for that. Demetrio about 55 to 60 metres out from goal. And McDonald dropping back in the goal area along with Duckworth. And Phil Cracker down there for any crumbs along with Fairley. The marking powers with McDonald. Phil Cracker goes up at 4th in line. Players over the top. The ball up just metres out from goal. Essendon 8-2, North Melbourne 4-1.
6 minutes into the second quarter, and North doing better in this term. Madden wins. Shark by Schimmelbusch, who doesn't look totally fit. Ball held to him. Umpire calls for it and will ball it up again. Schimmelbusch has had trouble with his Achilles in the latter part of the season and hasn't been the dominant player that we normally come to expect. Ezard gets a kick out of a congested pack. Chance for Smith, close to the line. Ball stays in. Nagel. Be another ball up.
Six and a half minutes down. 2 goals to North in that period. The Dons haven't scored. Madden gets it towards the line. Ezard, that was dangerous because it could have flown out on the full, but in fact it was well executed by him despite the risk, and he gained about 30 metres for his side. The ball still on North's half-forward flank.
7 minutes, second term. Dempsey. And Madden probably got the best of that. Duckworth tries to spin out of trouble. Hodgman emerges with the ball, runs it towards centre half forward. It'll come back. Will it beat them? Was it touched by Walsh? It wasn't. A goal to North Melbourne. That's their 5th.
North have scored the first 3 goals of the second quarter to bridge the gap. Still a fair way to go yet to catch up. An Essendon free kick to Hawker, just behind the centre circle. Up the ground looking for Van der Haar. He's got a break on them. Ramsey too late to spoil. Paul Van der Haar a long way out. Merritt trying to lead from the goal square. Van der Haar might give himself a bit of a chance. He'll be 10 metres short. Dench. Well shepherded by Carlton. Gives him an extra couple of paces.
To half-back, Van der Haar again. Oh, yes! Been paid. Finished the job lying on his back. Hurd under pressure from Demetrio. Back to Van der Haar. Desperate kick off the ground. Danaher. Great spoil, Glendinning. Ezard. Well smothered. The North defence rallying. And a ball up and half forward for Essendon. And North have made the change in the key posts with Dench now on Merritt and Glendinning on Danaher.
Second term, 9 minutes played. Essendon by 19 points. At centre half forward, Hawker up towards Merritt. Dench is there, it might beat them, but it's going to be a free kick to Merritt. Dench holding by the wrist. Umpire Robinson explaining exactly what was going on. Now Roger Merritt has kicked 2. And this will be the steadier for Essendon. 15 metres out. Kicking into a horde of North Melbourne banners behind the goals. It doesn't put him off. 3 goals to Merritt, 9 goals to the Bombers.
Essendon steady with the goal by Merritt. North about to make a change with Holden warming up. Atkins out of the middle, high towards centre half forward. Great one-hander by Folds. 7 kicks and 2 marks in the first quarter to be the leading possession winner. Folds from centre half back, over the centre. Kink underneath the ball. Spills out towards Abernethy. Down he goes from Bahagia's tackle. Pushed in the back, free kick to Abernethy.
Here's Holden, a bit of stretching. As Abernethy kicks to half forward, long floater beyond half forward. Walsh versus Fairley. Phil Cracker harassed out of it. Weston, Hawker. Well played by the Essendon defence. Spearing pass, but no one there to receive. Law back to half forward. Nagel. Now McCann. Nice hand pass to Atkins. Left footer. Lead from Fairley, but it's too far out in front of him. Good bounce. There's that notorious VFL Park turf bringing him undone. Now a throw in. Good tackling. Fierce work by the Dons. And Carey, one of the most fearsome Dons of all.
The Bombers lead by 25 points. North's forward area. Oh, Walsh grabbed by Jimmy Cracker. Must have been a painful grab by the look of the expression on Walsh's face.
John Law going off, Holden on.
And the free kick going North Melbourne's way to Jimmy Cracker for that tackle. 25 metres out from goal. You can see the angle. The Kangaroos trailed by 25 points.
Moore did well in the first quarter. Has been reported and taken off at the 12-minute mark, second quarter. To the back of the pack. Breaking away Danaher. Phil Cracker loses control. Comes back to gain control. Will take a free kick, held when not in possession. And a 15-metre penalty. Essendon 9-2. North 5-2. Cracker just out of the centre square. Not a lot of distance. Walsh on his chest.
Not much pressure then. North forward line falling down. Folds in good position. He's had the job of minding whichever Cracker has been resting in a pocket. Shocking kick and hits Abernethy on the chest. Bruce Abernethy getting better as the game wears on. Finds Atkins, who's been a fine little player for North Melbourne. Centres it. Dempsey's there and has got it. Good mark, despite fierce opposition from one of his own men. But it's a testing shot for Big Dempsey's about 45 to 50 metres out. Wouldn't be too hard for most players, but he's not a great kick. Will it make it? He's done well. 4 points. Fine effort by Gary Dempsey.
Centre square infringement, the last one. The first one was against Glendinning. This time it's against Essendon. And Gary Dempsey to get North going again. Nagel, centre half back. Madden calling for it, so is Danaher. He'll go for Madden. Bradbury making position at centre half forward. Is going deeper. Up towards Kink. Ramsey. Help from Dench. Merritt goes in. Kink out to Hawker. Spins out of trouble. Picked up by Merritt. That's his 4th goal. Four goals to Roger Merritt, and the Bombers 10th.
We expected the game to open with fireworks. It certainly did. There have been at least 2 reports. Possibly 3. Holden gets the hand pass out wide to Demetrio. Oh, great tackle, Vanderhaar. Play on rules the umpire. Williams knocked over by Carlton. That'll be a relayed free. Keith Gregg spoils, but the free kick will go up the ground to Ezard. And what a difference Ezard and Williams have made to the Bombers.
Coming back because the umpire ruling it was a high tackle rather than... well, that was what I thought was the call. Yes, it will come back. Umpire Robinson calling the free for a high tackle rather than for a late one.
They've made a terrific difference to the Essendon smaller man power in the second half of the season. Ezard and Williams.
To half forward, danger territory as far as North are concerned. Kick to Bahaja, who had a flying shot earlier in the quarter, but this time he doesn't get clear. Hawker back to Kink, who steadies. Cross to Watson. Ramsey in pursuit. Watson swings back with the left. Merritt hustled out of position by Dench, and a good mark taken by Gregg, who hasn't had a great day in defence.
The Bombers by 22 points. Gregg out towards Carlton, but big Madden is out there. Carlton, yes, he's being paid the money. He got in front. The ball's got to come back. Gary Carlton did it well. Essendon 13-7-85. North Melbourne 10-3-63. 13 minutes into the third term. Williams, a nice one-hander. Off and running into half forward. Madden, not Madden, it's Watson from the side, not quite. Bradbury, 25 metres out, steadies and puts it through. The Bombers' 14th goal.
Points the lead to Essendon. Madden wins in the middle beautifully. Terry Danaher, the skipper. A long high kick under pressure. Ezard with Gregg. Merritt to help. Carlton now for North in the van at half-back flank. Oh, well played by Ezard, who came from nowhere to get in front. Dench under a lot of pressure and is forced out of bounds.
Almost halfway through the term. Neither side making a lot of progress in the quarter after a fairly high-scoring first half. Just 3 goals kicked in this quarter. Glendinning did well to get a kick away and gain 40 metres for the Roos. Up to the wing. Brightus goes down. Nagel did it nicely, but took the ball over the line. Feet were inside, the ball was over, and so a throw-in on the wing.
The Bombers by 28 points. Far side wing, Madden and Dempsey, side on. They both miss it. Glendinning, front posse, good help from Smith. Gets the handball away to Brightus. He runs it to half forward, goes towards McCann. McCann uses his body well but can't mark it. Hurd. Out to Duckworth. Into the centre, up towards half forward to Merritt. There's no support there. Here's Ard. Greg. Greg the superior speed. Still playing it well. Does it beautifully from half back. Up towards Cracker. McCann is there too. Folds. Weston grabbed by Phil Cracker on the Hurd. Hawker calling for it. He's going towards Van der Hout half forward. A diver and gets him. And 15 metres against Gary Carlton. And you can see exactly why. Van der Hout half forward flank. Now Watson, the only marking power down there for Essendon. No one's dropping back. So it's going to be left up to Timmy Watson. Not quite. Out and a throw in. Essendon 14-7-91. North Melbourne 10-3-63.
16-minute mark, third quarter. Bombers pretty well in control. Jim Cracker punches out of defence. Bradbury, number 36, with Holden. Out of play. Essendon have controlled things for most of the day. They had 3-1 on the board before North scored. Finished up kicking 8 goals to 2 in the first quarter. North Melbourne free kick to Dempsey. And the older brigade for North Melbourne. Perhaps Dempsey has been about the best because Schimmelbusch doesn't look fit. Keith Gregg had a poor first half, coming into it a bit now. Dench has been pretty ordinary as well. Bahagia out towards Bradbury. He goes for his second goal of the quarter and grazes the post.
Unlikely focal point of attack is Peter Bradbury. Essendon leading by 29 points. Plenty up. Fist away from Van der Haar, and here goes Bradbury again. Kink. Tackle from Jim Cracker, who eventually finds the safety of the line. With a bit of a lunge at it, I thought. And we'll see another throw in between the pocket and the flank. The Dons in attack.
Just over 17 minutes in this third term. Merritt. Glendinning, no one decisive yet. Taken away by Abernathy. A real floater. Smith. Oh! Madden from the side. Had no trouble out marking him. Between wing and half forward. Now who's feeding? No one for the moment. Yes, flat-footed. Nagel. Nagel. He'll go deep. Izzard's there for the crumbs if they come down off the pack. The man in front is Dempsey. There's Izzard for the crumbs. Jimmy Cracker. Izzard scoops it out. Taken away by Smith. Runs across goal. Gets it to Greg. Greg now will go for Demetrio. There's nobody else in sight. He's got to go for Demetrio. He gets a push in the back. No free kick for it. Schimmelbusch gets a push in the back. He'll take the free kick just out from the wing.
Very important 10 minutes or so for North Melbourne. Schimmelbusch's kick for McCann. Can't quite drag it in. Play on. Off hands to Bahagia, who's been quiet. Unmarked is Madden in the centre. Goes out wide. Merritt lumbers after it. Oh, great mark down there to Williams. Darren Williams. Coming up for his 13th kick. First season for the Bombers, he's played only 9 games, and he and Izzard have added bite. He's got it. The margin's over 5 goals now, making it very tough for North Melbourne.
It turned out to be a real massacre. Essendon by 86 points, an all-time high winning margin in a preliminary final, 25-14 to 12 goals 6. Essendon led by 37 points at quarter time. North got to within 3 goals in the third quarter, but Essendon went out to 21 points at half time. It became 49 points at three-quarter time, and with 8 goals to 2 in the last quarter, the 86-point margin, the biggest ever in a preliminary final, beating a 51-year-old record. Watson kicked 5 goals, Merritt 4, and Terry Danaher kicked 3, and for North, Fairley kicked 4 goals, Atkins and Jim Cracker each kicked 2. There were 4 reports from the game, all for striking. 3 North Melbourne players, Law, Phil Cracker and Demetrio, but if they serve suspension, it will be next year because North Melbourne are eliminated, but Essendon will be really waiting on the result of the tribunal during the week because Merv Nagel was reported the week before the grand final. So the Bombers have already done a rare thing in making the grand final from the elimination final. Only Collingwood in 1980 did it before, and they went on to lose the big one by a record margin. Can the Bombers go that one better? Coach Kevin Sheedy believes they can because of the extra depth built up this year.
We've recruited very well. We're very pleased with our buys, and you know, we've got 3 or 4 players out that won't be probably playing with your Otways and your Neil Clarks and Brian Wood and Neil Danaher. So we're getting a list together that hopefully in the near future it'll be a great list of players.
And the ones who've been there for a number of years, like your Nagels and Watsons and so on, are they better players this year than they have been before?
Oh, yeah, they're much better players. You know, they've learned to cope with pressure football, and that sometimes is a problem that players may not be able to cope with. And it just gets back to winning football games. You know, in the last 2 years we've been a bit unlucky in some areas where we had won 16 wins and missed out on the top 3. The 16 wins got North Melbourne on top this year, and we won 15 this year, and we ended up 4th because of it. So I think that's hardened our players to realise that to have a chance at winning a premiership is a very, very hard ask for the players to come up with, because we've won 50 matches and never even got to a grand final.
Well, you're there now, but to win the flag, you're going to have to win 4 finals games in a row. That history says, well, it really can't be done. Can you break history?
No, well, naturally, we'll be looking at trying to win next week. We think we've got a good enough chance to be able to do well, and I'm quite sure the Hawthorn boys think they would be, thinking the same way. But really, I feel that 4 in a row, there's no reason why you can't.
Well, I mean, you ran over them so easily towards the end. Would you have taken a lot of hard physical knocks today? Would Hawthorn have an advantage because they were sitting on watching?
Well, I looked at the boys when I was talking to them after the game, and they look pretty fresh to me.
Essendon coach Kevin Sheedy, and the way the Bombers are playing, it's got Kevin Sheedy written all over them. Well, down the corridor, it was a different story in the North Melbourne rooms. The Kangaroos had finished on top and then lost 2 finals to miss out on a grand final spot. You could understand Coach Barry Cable's feelings as he spoke to Peter Booth.
Barry, your most disappointing day as coach?
Oh, yes, definitely, without a doubt. And particularly, when we ended up on top of the ladder at the home and away games and then have bombed out, really poorly and very disappointingly in the 2 finals games.
From a team's point of view, where did you break down?
Well, it was certainly after half-time, and, I think we only kicked 2 goals after half-time. It was a really poor effort. I think we just broke down in the overall general commitment of sort of really wanting to go on with the business. And I think Essendon proved that. I mean, they were desperate after half-time, and you could see that they really wanted to go on with the game and get themselves into the grand final. And I guess that, there has been, I know, a lot of things said about North over the last few years, and, there's no doubt that, we just have to sit down and really think about it.
Did you expect the fireworks in the first quarter?
Oh, yes, I expected that.
Did they upset you?
I don't think so at all, because I thought that we came back after that and went in at 3 goals, I think, down at half-time. So, I mean, the commitment up till half-time I thought was good, and I really felt that the way that the players, got themselves organised at half-time, that, we'd come out and really put in a real good second half. But, Essendon were just far too good for us and too committed.
No complaints about the venue?
No complaints about the ground umpires or anything like that. I mean, we just weren't good enough, and an extremely disappointing performance.
Barry, how do you rate Essendon?
Well, it's a bit hard to say, of course, because after half-time, we never really gave them any opposition, so I guess that's hard to say. And till half-time, when we were with them, there wasn't a lot in it. And Hawthorn will certainly be a lot different to what North Melbourne were today, particularly the second half. So it's very hard to say. I guess the thing that Essendon have got going for them is the fact that, no one's ever won it from the position that they've come from, and they're only second team ever to come from the elimination final to the grand final. So, and they've been out of it for a long time, and so, I'd say that they're on a very big high at the moment. So I think that they could end up having an extremely good chance next week against Hawthorn.
And now to the leading goal kickers, and Bernie Quinlan of Fitzroy at the preliminary final received the John Coleman Medal for topping the goal kickers list with an outstanding tally of 116 goals for the season. On that leaders list, only 2 can add to their tally next week in the grand final. Lee Matthews of Hawthorn in second place with 73 goals, and Terry Danaher, who in the preliminary final kicked 3 for a total of 62. And now moving to the other side of the studio for a part of the program that I'm sure you're all sitting on the edge of your seats for, because here we're going to announce the winner of our competition for Mark and Goal of the Year. And again, it's with great pleasure I introduce the VFL General Manager, Jack Hamilton. 5 or 6 years you've been here spinning the barrel on the winners.
No doubt about that. I've outlasted all those other barrel girls, and now I'm ahead of James Dibblett now that he's retired. I'm a longer-serving ABC man than what he was.
Well, once again, we've been wrapped with the response from around Australia, and for the Mark competition, entries from Western Australia have killed them again.
It doesn't surprise me, Drew. The Winners is a tremendous program, and I know that if there's any alteration to times in New South Wales or Queensland, I can guarantee I'll get 100 letters of complaint about the Winners. It's a tremendous program, and full credit to you because it's probably one of the most popular football programs throughout Australia.
Good on you, Jack. Thanks very much, and thanks for being part of it. Well, here we go, and firstly for interstate viewers for the Mark of the Year. We've been showing you over the last couple of weeks the final 6 candidates. Here they are again, and then the winner. A, good spring from in front by Collingwood's Jeff Miles.
Taylor versus Taylor and Miles. Fantastic mark, Jeff Miles.
Mark B, Carlton's Peter Bazzasto making it safe on his chest.
Kick up onto the member side wing. Chance for Bazzasto. Oh, what a mark. That's his 8th mark.
Mark C, first-year player Darryl Cunningham of St Kilda over the top of Gary Dempsey.
Pull forward, Brown very high. What a capture! It's Cunningham, Darryl Cunningham, a fantastic mark.
Mark D, flying against the sky, Fitzroy's Graham Hinchin.
Down towards McCann again, the second time. Oh, magnificent mark, Graham Hinchin.
What a fantastic mark, and what a great defender this young man from Tasmania has become.
Mark E, another high flyer by Hawthorn's Peter Knights.
Knights will come and take a screamer. Peter Knights. And Kelly,
and Mark F, and while the big men jostle, Carlton's Wayne Harms runs and leaps over them.
To keep the pressure on Kelly, and gives away a 15-metre penalty, but good tactics. Down towards the north half forward line. Wayne Harms, what a great mark! But that was a fantastic effort.
Well, there they are, the 6 best of the year. We got all our panellists and commentators to have a bit of a vote. The voting was very even, and by the look of the entries we've had, it seems that not too many of our viewers can really pick the winner. But, Jack, I've got to tell you that in a very close vote, the Mark of the Year has gone to Carlton's Peter Bazzasto.
It was a tremendous mark, but really so were the other 5, so the panel would have had a difficult job.
Was a hard one this year. Here we go.
I can tell there were a lot of entries, Drew.
Yeah, but... Right. Good luck. There'll be a lot of people throughout Australia sweating on this one.
Mark D, Graham Hinchin.
Yep. Incorrect, from Boulder in Western Australia.
There it is. Oh, Des Nathan, I would say. K-N...
Napton?
Napton, is it?
Napton. Des Napton.
He lives in a post office box at Ballinup, WA.
There he is, Peter Bazzasto.
Very lucky man.
Des Napton, I think it is, from Post Office Box 7, Ballinup in Western Australia. I'm not sure where Ballinup is. Anyway, might have to start right now in order to get to the grand final next week.
Be nice and costly, the airfare there. It's probably up on the North Shelf.
That's right. Tickets for 2 and accommodation in Melbourne and tickets to the grand final. Des Napton, I believe it is.
Start out now, Des.
Now let's go to the goal of the year, and this was for our Victorian viewers. Once again, our final 6 candidates, and then to the winner. Goal 1, hemmed in on the boundary line, Collingwood's captain, Mark Williams.
Try to get it back to Richardson. Now Williams brushes off a tackle, steers towards goal. Free kick. His 3rd goal for the quarter. What a goal that was by Mark Williams.
Goal 2, Paul Meldrum takes possession and beats 3 opponents.
Clark's kick is not a good one. Meldrum, he's in lots of trouble. Beats them. Beats another one. Beats another one. And puts it through. 1, 2, 3.
Goal 3, a long run from the centre by Fitzroy's goal specialist Michael Conlon.
To the centre of the ground. Hunter in front of Conlon and clears them both. At the back, Coleman. Good gather by the big fella. Out to Conlon, who doubled back well. Mickey Conlon going for the bounce. Wide out at half-forward flank. Hurling the ball into the turn. All the way, Conlon. For goal. It's through.
Goal 4, burning pace by the top recruit of the year, Collingwood wingman Philip Walsh.
The centre wing, and Walsh has played a magnificent game. Philip Walsh handballing it to Richardson. Back to Walsh. Walsh into an open goal. Is magnificent football by Collingwood.
Goal 5, and surely the longest kick of the season, Fitzroy's Bill Loken.
Great hand pass out to Loken. Loken can keep on going. Sends it very long and nobody at home at all. Big Craig Stewart. It's a goal!
Goal 6, up from the back pocket, Collingwood's Mark Hanbury.
Support from Hanbury on his left foot. No one's coming up to meet him. Oh, does it beautifully. Mark Hanbury, that was sensational. They've capped it off. He has. He's capped it off with a sensational goal.
Well, there they are, the 6 goals of the year, and pretty good ones too. Grounds were pretty dry, much drier than Jack.
Yeah, look good, but, oh, gee, a lot of Collingwood goals in there. They'd have to win one, wouldn't they, Drew?
You wouldn't be biased at all, would you? Collingwood fall back here, Jack. Now, I've got to tell you that the vote by our panellists has gone to a Carlton double, and he's got the mark of the year, Peter Bosusto, and the goal of the year goes to Paul Meldrum. Got nothing to do with the fact that he's the namesake of the Countdown host, Molly.
That sounds like an in-house one.
Molly Meldrum of Carlton has won the goal of the year. Let's see if we can pick a winner, Jack. That was a pretty good run, that, because he had to whip round about 3 opponents and from a narrow angle got the points.
I believe you, Drew.
The Victorian viewers, goal of the year, straight away.
Straight away. Billy Benton from Paringa Court in Chadstone.
Good luck to you, Bill. Right, 2 tickets to the VFL Grand Final. Hope you enjoy the day. So, Bill Benton from Chadstone wins the goal, and Des Napton from Ballingup in Western Australia has won the Mark of the Year competition, and hope you enjoy seeing the VFL Grand Final.
Demetrio gets the fly.
Now more highlights of the preliminary final.
A fair way. Up towards Fairley. Walsh is there. Taken away by Carey. Cracker underneath it. Phil Cracker takes the mark on half-forward flank. Smith. Up towards McCann. Weston. McDonald over the top. A chance here for Jimmy Cracker. 40 metres out. He might beat the pack. They're going back. He's beaten them. He's kicked the goal in the first 27 seconds of play in the second quarter.
Atkins. Merritt, who is best of field. Watson. What a mark.
Bradbury the spoil. Bradbury nicely to Bahaja. Backwards he goes to Watson. Hawker, eyes on the ball. Finger to it. Demetrio, close handy. Watson, he made ground quickly. Skirting the boundary line. In towards Van der Haar. The punch from Carlton is not successful.
Van der Haar, the knock on to Bahaja. Here's danger. Beautiful hand pass out to Watson, who lines them up. He'll kick a goal.
Merritt, Danaher out of the air but lost possession. Jimmy Cracker across the half-back line. Demetrio, front position. Hawker chasing. Demetrio still got the ball in front of him. He'll get a free kick, Demetrio. Play on the call. They'll get a bit of a fly there. Abernathy. Hurd. In towards half-forward. Merritt sets himself. Dench there too. Dench off his nose almost. Ezard. Oh, Ramsey goes in. Ezard goes down. Bahaja. Good tackle. Ezard to Watson. Oh, trapped it beautifully. Can't see daylight and threads it through. McDonald in ruck, along with Merritt. McDonald wins that one and follows up too. Oh, through the pack Bahaja nicely. Thought about going to Hawker, but goes deeper to Donnell. The punch by Cowton. Dench. Oh, not enough speed to do that these days, David. Down towards Ezard. Ramsey in front. Scrubbed the old kick. Up towards Bahaja again. Threads his way through. Gets the ball to Williams, 20 metres out, another one.
The margin 81 points, and this might write Essendon into the record books as the biggest winners in a preliminary final. Danaher, sensational mark.
In fact, Van der Haar and Donnell dropping back. And Kink goes for it. Now, Bahaja's in front of the pack. And he punches in front of the pack to Bahaja. Oh, he tried to get his left foot to it. Swings around and pumps it through. Another goal to the Bombers.
This is their third final win in succession this year. Merritt buffeted out of it. Off the ground by Holden. Lucky for Schimmelbusch. Could count his kicks on just about the fingers of one hand. Drives it long. Actually 7 kicks for Schimmer. Walsh is there again. Great mark in front of Jim Cracker.
And now to the mark of the day, and we gave it to a man who will have his fingers crossed on Monday night when the Brownlow medal votes are counted. A fine season both individually and for the team, Essendon's Simon Madden.
17 minutes in this third term. Merritt, Glendinning, no one decisive yet, taken away by Abernathy. A real floater. Smith, oh, Madden from the side. Had no trouble out-marking him.
And now to the play of the day, and it was Essendon's smaller men, as much as the bigger guys, who helped the Bombers to a record-breaking victory. Here, 2 of them combined for a goal. Darren Williams kicks it, but for setting it up, we gave play of the day to Tony Bahaja.
McDonald in ruck, along with Merritt. McDonald wins that one and follows up 2. Oh, threaded back Bahaja nicely. Thought about going to Hawke, but goes deeper to Donnell. The punch by Cowton. Dench. Oh, not enough speed to do that these days, David. Down towards Essard, Ramsey in front. Scrub the old kick up towards Bahaja again. Threads his way through. Gets the ball to Williams, 20 metres out, another one.
One match to go for the season, and it's the big one, the grand final at the Melbourne Cricket Ground next Saturday between Hawthorn and Essendon, and what a game it shapes as being. Well, next week you'll get the grand final in various forms in different states, but there'll be no winners program at the usual time. And may I take this opportunity to say how much we've enjoyed your support and encouragement during the season. The response to our competition Australia-wide was magnificent, and we know that in far-flung corners of the country there are many thousands of you eagerly awaiting your weekly dose of the VFL through the winners. Well, we go out with the goal of the day, and it was appropriately kicked by Essendon's captain, Terry Danaher, in the pressure cooker opening minute of the game. The first of 25 goals for the Bombers in a record-breaking win in a preliminary final.
Watson to Bahaja and the Bombers are away. Long, good direct play. Danaher at full forward and...
The bounce of the ball for the 1983 grand final.